Hello, welcome to VAD Inspires, and I want to tell you a story. A grandfather and his grandson was walking down the beach, and as they were walking down the beach, frequently the grandfather would bend down, pick up a sand dollar. That's an animal, a sea creature, and throw it back to the sea. And as the grandson noticed this for a little while, he asked his grandfather why he was picking up the sand dollars and throwing them back to the sea. The grandfather told his grandson that were living organisms that if he didn't throw them back to the sea, they would die out here when the sun comes up. And his son looked at him and said, "Well, there are thousands of them along the beach. I mean, what difference does it make that he was picking up the sandal and putting them back to the ocean?" The granddad looked at his grandson, picked up another sand dollar and said, it makes a world of difference to this sand dollar. And then he threw it back to the ocean. Welcome to the Strictly Personal Part 13. And today we're talking about the difference it makes by how we lead our lives, the difference it makes. Because sometimes we don't think that the actions we take matters. We don't think that what we do in life matters. We don't think that the things that we engage in matters, but it does matter. And it matters especially on a very personal level to the people we're doing it for, or to the person or to the individual we're doing it for. Because no single snow takes credit for the blizzard, but each of them played the role in creating the blizzard. No single raindrop claims to be responsible for the flood, but each of them in combination causes a flood. So what we do on a daily basis, our interaction with people, it matters. It does matter because we inspire people by what we do with our lives, by the actions we take. Because I can remember when I came to America back in 2015, and I was at a community college. I can remember this clearly. The first book that I read on motivation and self-help was Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. And this book inspired me so much. And Tony Robbins talked about his teachers so much. His teacher was Jim Rohn. That was his mentor. And I started doing a little bit of digging on Jim Rohn. And I found out that he died in 2009. In 2009, this man was still inspiring people even after his death. And because I've listened to him so much, I've almost listened to all his CDs, I've almost read all his books, I listened to him over and over again, even till today. I heard in one of his tapes, he talked about his legacy, the legacy of influencing people beyond his death. And I thought to myself, wow, I'm the living epitome. I'm the living evidence of the influence this man has left even after he died. He died in 2009. I met him in 2015, figuratively speaking, and he's still influencing my life till today. Anytime I come across a problem, anytime I'm thinking about quitting, anytime something bothers me, I can hear his lessons in my head telling me, this is what you gotta do, this is what you gotta do, because I've listened to almost all his seminars, and he laid out his life's work and how he conquered his challenges and difficulties, and it's still same thing till today. We are all suffering from similar difficulties, but the point is that influence impact is having on my life is allowing me to have impacts on other people's life, leading me to another story. When I was in community college, I stayed there for 2 years, and one of my classes is the education class, and I met this woman who was she was in her 40s, and she was barely getting her associates. And when I asked her, "What's your story? Why didn't you do this earlier?" She told me that she just had an epiphany at a nail salon, and how other people that she was calling her friend, the way they were talking, the way things were going, she just had this sudden realization that, wow, what could I have done all this time with my life that I have nothing to show for, and I'm almost 40? And she decided to come back to school to take classes. And the minute she told me that, I said, wow, I think this woman would benefit from listening to Tony Robbins. And I recommended a video by Tony Robbins on YouTube, and I told her to watch it. And I think she will get a lot of value out of it. Well, the next class came, and she spoke to me. She told me, thank you for recommending that video. I cried throughout that whole video. He describes me so much. He described me so well that I have decided to change my life even much further. Like, I am very confident in my decision to change my life, but he unearthed so many memories and put it in a way that I understood myself a little bit more. Thank you for recommending that. And now I have changed the whole world even further. That's the power of influence. That's the power of the interactions we're having. That's the power of making a difference even when we think we're not making a difference. That's the power of doing something so well even when no one is watching. You don't know, 50 years from now even, that will be valuable for someone. They will get inspired by it, and by that, they will inspire other people. So the conversations you have, the things you do at your workplace, it does matter. Every little detail matters. Whether you vote or not, it does matter. It does make a difference. It might not look like it, but it does. And part of it is faith. Having faith that the seeds that you're planting, having faith that the things that you're doing matter in the grand scheme of things. Because they actually do. Because the difference it makes with you deciding to make your bed or not could be the difference of maybe your kid watching you make your bed, and by your example, he can learn to make his bed. It could be the difference of your sibling watching you do the same, and by your example, he does the same. Exercising or not, you can motivate other people to exercise or not. By your example, you are influencing other people. But when a group of people throw up their hands and say it doesn't matter, collectively, everyone doesn't influence anyone. But when a few people do, they influence other people who then influence other people, and the ripple effect goes on. So I do matter, you do matter, we all matter, and what we do on a daily basis matters. So you count. Your depression, your anxiety, conquering it counts, not just for you, for the people around you. What you're going to do with your life counts because you're going to influence other people. So I hope the stories and the ideas that I'm sharing in this strictly personal series, Part 13, helps you in your own life. And as always, thanks for watching. Be great and follow for more to stay inspired.